Hey, this is Kristen Nipsey, and I'm doing Journal 5. There are a lot of different cultures and differences between my students, but the biggest difference is the Hispanic culture at Coldwater Elementary. I've worked with kids at multiple Calhoun County schools and in Talladega County, but the Hispanic population at my school and in my classroom is bigger than it's ever been before. We have 6 EL, English language learners. So I really want to talk about that in this journal. My teacher really celebrates them. If anything, she really makes them feel special because she speaks Spanish very often. When they're having snack and it's kind of downtime, they teach her, right now they're teaching her how to count to 40 in Spanish. She truly does celebrate them. Like I said, if anything, she makes them feel special more than doesn't put them in the curriculum. The curriculum does provide information. I think a lot of that is the heavy population of the Hispanic culture in the Oxford City school system. I know it's at least like that with Coldwater. But like I said, they really celebrate that at that school. When they speak Spanish, it's something that all the students get interested in. It's just different, and they look at it in a very positive light. Yes, there are most of the literacy lessons that she does, like the small group in reading, are Hispanic books. We just talked about multicultural differences or multicultural literature in my children's literature class, and the whole definition of that is a not European middle class American, and that's very rare in the books that we use. In my practicum class, we use a ton of African American, Native American, but we use a lot of Hispanic, so I think that's very celebrated in Coldwater. Yes, the personal connections between the Hispanic I think I see it the most when they start speaking Spanish or when they are trying to translate something, when they can't get someone that only speaks English to understand what they're saying. They really rely on each other to help each other do that. And they really, like, when they pick who they want to hang out with, they come together, which I think that's a common. I know that Caucasian people do that, Black people do that. Well, I mean, they kind of go with their culture. So yes, the EL students in my classroom definitely have a connection for sure. My teacher does a really good job if they are ever struggling. And if she ever sees an EL struggling, and this is one of the most important things I've learned from her, to not be afraid to go over there to the EL and sit down with them and work through things with them. I think that's true with any struggler, but I've always kind of been afraid of where the line is, I don't want to make them feel like they're different, but they do need that support, and she has done a great job of showing me that. So yeah, she definitely appeals to their own learning styles, and we have two or three of my EL students in my classroom are some of the smartest children I've ever worked with. And then some of them are having a really hard time. And if she needs to she treats them exactly the same. She treats them no differently unless they need help. And that's wonderful. And then if they're gifted children, she also adapts to them. And she gives them extra work if they want to do it. And if they want to write more and read more, then she lets them do. She treats them. She makes them feel normal, but she helps them if necessary, and that's a really fine line. And she's really taught me a lot about where that line is. No, the assessments aren't really that different. Like I said, she really treats them. She does have rather high performing. She probably has one or two that fall below the line of the average line of where all the rest of the third graders are, but it's really most of them are gifted. But yeah, the ones that are below the line are not it's because they're still working on their English. It's not because they don't understand it. It's they don't understand the language. So yes, the culture is the Hispanic culture is what stood out the most to me in my classroom, and I have learned a ton on how to deal with their specific culture, and it's really helped me learn how to teach and be effective with other cultures as well.